All right. Well, hopefully the live is working now. I know we had a whole bunch of people waiting in the other one. Hopefully we get some people jumping over here in this one. I've already got thumbs down on the other one. I am so sorry, Fish and friends. Hopefully this pops up and people start jumping in. The other one, I don't know what happened. It got completely messed up. There we go. We got some people jumping in now. Guys, I am so sorry. I'm going to let some people kind of trickle in here, and I don't know what in the heck happened on that on the other one that I had planned. All right, so hopefully, I know people are waiting. I know. Hey, what's up? Hey. Okay, so we've got people starting to trickle in here. What's up, Fish and friends? I am so sorry for the wait and delay. I actually had a surprise guest that was going to be joining us, and I couldn't get it to work. I could not get my regular setup to work and everything. So I don't know what happened. I've never actually streamed from YouTube directly on here on my computer. I go through a deal called OBS, and I just got done showing someone how easy OBS was. Apparently not. I don't know. I actually had Jim, Tackle Junkie, on, was going to join me tonight because we were going to be talking gear, rod, reels, lures, line, whatever we could. And I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened, but I could not get it to work with us. So there's Jim right there. Jim, I am so sorry, man. And everybody that was waiting for me, I know we had 100 and some people in there waiting. Thank you guys for flooding this one on short notice. I don't know why. It has never done that. It's never done that. Am I drinking? Yes, I am having a little bit of an adult beverage. That didn't have anything to do with it, though. I don't know. So now that really makes me upset because I used my regular deal, you know, with the two names. So I don't know. So it's just me now. I'm bummed because Tackle Junkie and I were ready to go live. So now you're stuck with just me, boring old Debo. But tonight, thank you guys for jumping on this one. Again, I apologize. We got started late. That was not my intention. We were ready to be up and going and everything, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. So enough of that. We're talking tackle tonight, and just me. Jim, again, I'm sorry I couldn't get you on here. We had all sorts of reels and rods and stuff planned out, but so tackle, I didn't really have a big plan. So make sure you guys are leaving questions over in the comments. Rod, reel, tackle, anything. I'm just going to kind of go through some stuff. I am excited, and I was going to grab that. I got so anxious about this not working and upset. I was going to grab some reels and stuff, that I got a couple older reels that I am super excited about. I was going to go over some rods. I know I get a lot of questions on the rods and stuff. I'm way behind on reviews, and the problem with like reviews of stuff that I've already like used, you know, through the past year, is there's so much footage of it. You have to go through hours upon hours upon hours of footage to actually get, you know, footage of me using a specific rod or a specific reel, because I don't have them labeled that way. I have them labeled for the day. So like spring day fishing a spinnerbait, caught this. That's like how I name my stuff, so I know what each deal is. But I don't have it named like I was using this reel, I was using this rod. So I literally have to sift through every video that I was using through the year. So I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm so flustered with this not working. I'm just absolutely pissed off inside. I had a horrible day. So today I went ice fishing. If you think you had maybe a crappy day, went ice fishing. I broke one of my ice fishing rods, putting my hut down, snapped the tip off. What else did I do? I broke the microphone thing. I bent it, knocked it when I was setting something up, so I had no audio for the day. What else? Oh, I was trying to fix my live well. I already had like 4 keepers in the live well, and went over to like actually get the live well situated, because it was like up on ice and my fish was like flopping out. And I start smelling something burning. I'm like, what the hell? I look back. My pants were on fire. My actual overalls, my nice snow ice fishing overalls, they're on fire. They have a huge burnt hole in them. So if you check out my Instagram story, yeah, it was a good day, real good, fun day. And then this isn't working. So what do you do? Life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? So I don't know. I might get up and grab some of those reels, but I picked up an old Corrado. I'll go grab it. Okay, I forgot I put it on a rod. I was practicing pitching and flipping with it just to see what it felt like. But I had this reel, and this is actually the old Hellbent rod. Talk about a steal. I get this in a day after Thanksgiving sale deal for 20 bucks. I think regularly these were like 60 bucks, but this is number 8. They were like a sister company of 13 Fishing. It was supposed to be like the more affordable version of their stuff. And this rod like was my favorite old rod. I beat the hell out of this thing. You can see the corks all gross on it. Some of it was chipping off back here where it got old. But for a $20 rod, favorite budget rod I've ever had, period. But that's the Corrado. Oh, can you see it? I can't flip it around, but 200E. It's the E series, 200 size. But these are the ones they call the mean green. I'm going to be doing a video on this, but a lot of people have said this is the best baitcaster ever made, ever created. And it's super solid. It still feels good in hand. I was just pitching and flipping with it, and this thing still feels awesome. I don't remember when these came out. The D series before that, I was talking to a guy trying to get one of the D series. I think I have one of those coming, but I've kind of got back in the thing of like collecting some of the old stuff. I was going to grab some of Dad's, but he's got like one of the real old Shimano Bantams, a couple of those, one of the old Daiwas, like the stuff when they first came out. So I've kind of like grown an appreciation for that lately. I don't know why. You know, you kind of go through those phases. But I also got a Shimano Core, which was like one of the best lightweight type reels of its time. Probably the best when it came out. I don't think you could beat that reel. But this was a subscribed fishing friend that was nice enough to hook me up. So I'm going to be hooking him up kind of on the side. But we talk back and forth. Super nice guy. So I appreciate all you fishing friends out there that, you know, talk to me and work with me on stuff. And hey, you want to try some lures, and like people trading, like it blows my mind because the fishing like industry and the fishing like community is weird. Like there's a lot of clicky, like tacky cringe, I know people call it, type of fishing stuff out there. And there's still like the good, I guess I fit kind of maybe in that like kind of older guy crowd. I feel like I'm not doing like crazy, you know, challenge type things that don't make any sense. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's just fun, fishing enjoyment type stuff, entertainment, you know. But like I have appreciation for the older stuff and like learning how things work and, you know, why did a company switch from this to this? Like I'm kind of nerdy like that. But this is one of the old Shimano Symmetries. Again, that cool green Shimano color. It's got the sparkle in it. This thing's old as dirt, and I think I've cleaned this. Never. Yeah, I've never cleaned it. And look at this, still never being cleaned. Still runs like a dream. But that's what, like, I don't know why Shimano got away from this stuff, because like the old side plate on these old Corrados, if you never use these, I always remember this was always so cool because it's like a little secret trap door you had to open up and give it a twist, and the side plate pops off. But it's one of those old Beetle Wing, you know, Ferrari door looking things. You've got companies now coming out with it and being like, oh, innovative in the industry, you've never seen this. It's like, well, Shimano did that a long time ago. So like I don't know why they got away from this type stuff, and you can't really tell the color. But and sorry, my hands are all gross, I was painting earlier, airbrushing, but like there's a gold and green flake in it. Like it just looks classy, you know. Like I don't know, they kind of got away from that stuff. The Corrado K is, you know, one of the best all around reels now as well, but you know, it doesn't have that cool old look to it. So I hope they kind of go back to that. I don't really know why I kind of got into that stuff again, but I don't know. You know, sometimes you kind of go through those phases, and I've got an appreciation for old reels right now. So let's see. I am way behind. I see people in here leaving comments and such. What do we have? I'm just going to start here. Let's see. Everybody's saying, hey, Tackle Junkie. Yeah, if you've not subscribed to Jim, Tackle Junkie, I feel so bad. He was in there waiting with me while I was trying to get my crap up and going. We've almost got 300 people. I can't believe you guys flooded this live. I'm so sorry for scheduling that other one. I'll go out and delete it. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's see. So what do we have? Hey, Oklahoma's worst angler, my guy. I'm going to hopefully fish with you sometime this year, next year, one of these years. That's typical YouTube fishing outing, brother. Rarely do things go according to plan. I'm guessing you're talking about earlier. Yeah, it was quite a day. It's fun. While you were ice fishing, I was getting demolished by mosquitoes. That's one thing that I love about winter, because my hate for mosquitoes is extremely high. I don't hate a lot of things. Mosquitoes I hate. Absolutely hate them. 0017 Bulldog. Debo, what's your weather like? I think today it was 22, which is super warm. A couple weeks ago, we were like -40 with wind chill. The Midwest was the coldest place on Earth for a couple days, even colder than Antarctica with our wind chills. It was crazy. What else do we have? OWA is the man. He is a good dude. Thank you for joining my live, guys. Let's see. Kevin says, Debo got the greenfish tackle itsy bitsy living rubber finesse jig. Yes. 5/16. You have to try them. Tackle where else carries them. The greenfish tackle. I don't know that I've used that one. Itsy bitsy. Sounds like a song. Itsy bitsy rubber skirt. I don't know. Kevin, I'm not sure what you're talking about there. I'm probably way behind. Beast of a reel, probably talking about the Corrado. It is such a beast of a reel. It's an awesome little reel. People are waiting on the other stream. Oh, no. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I tried going into that one, and maybe I'm just an idiot when it comes to YouTube, but I've never gone to like a pre-scheduled one directly from YouTube. Like I tried going in from I use OBS, Streamlabs OBS, and it's not working. Jim and I tried like 3 times. I got out and tried going live. I tried to get it into that from YouTube. I don't know. I've never had this happen. The only time I'd ever went live on YouTube was directly from my phone. I've never gone live from my computer like this directly through YouTube. It's always been through OBS, Streamlab, and it will not work. I tried it like 4 times. So I don't know. I guess those people over there, they're going to miss an amazing conversation tonight, me drinking bourbon and screwing up streams. What else we got? You got 130 angry people waiting in the other one. Oh, man, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. I guess I'll probably lose 1,000 subscribers, I guess. Hey, Debo, I'm new to bait casting in general. What can I do to make throwing lighter tackle much easier and casting farther? Settings of the reel. Okay, so I'm actually going to do a new video on this. I did one before, and after I went back and watched it, I felt like it was kind of misleading because I feel like I've used a bait caster long enough, and some of the tips that I gave aren't the best way to start out. Like you can cast light stuff the way I was talking about, but the biggest thing for casting light lures, like if you're casting a weightless plastic, like a weightless stick bait, whatever it is you want to go to as light a line as you can get away with. So you have to keep in mind that I always change my line based on my surroundings. Like you can catch bass on 2-pound line, but if you have 2-pound line and you get that stuck a little bit in a tree, it's gone. So try to go with the lightest line you can get away with. You want to go with a lighter power and a little bit softer action rod. To me, that helps you throw light lures a lot easier. Now, there are some reels that are significantly better at throwing light lures, and I think like the Core was made that way. It's not a beefy reel. It's a more of a finesse reel that was made to throw light lures when they brought it out. And for now, like the budget reel, so far, I think the regular SLX is like the best budget reel at that price for throwing light lures without going to like a BFS reel, a finesse specific reel. Then once you bump up to like the Tatula 100, that's I think like $150. That reel is extremely good at throwing light lures too. So going with a lighter power rod. So instead of trying to use on your medium heavy, going down to like a medium or a medium light. I've got a couple medium lights that I use for different stuff like light crankbaits. You put all that together and you're going to be able to cast light lures a lot easier. So I'm going to redo that video here coming up once spring rolls around, but good question. Let's see. What else do we have going on? What's up, guys? I see a lot of what's up. Hey, everyone. Hey. Can you do a review on the Abu Garcia Revo Premier Reel? I don't have that. BPS Cabela's just had them 50% off. I don't have that one. If somebody has one they want to loan me to do a review and stuff, and then I'll send it back, I'd be happy to do that. I've had a couple people do that with reels, and I appreciate that. That way I don't have to go out and buy them, as long as you're okay with me using it. Obviously, if I were to break it, I'd buy you a new one. But what else do we have? You do a fine job, Debo. We're glad you're doing what you do. Well, Walt, just regular old Walt. Thank you, Walt. I appreciate that. That's why I keep doing what I do, because of nice people like you. Let's see. Oh, my stupid thing just skipped all the way down to the bottom. Why does it do that? Now I lost what's going on in here. Okay, Philip Watkins. I'm putting an order in on Monday. Going to grab 2 SLX XTs. The SLX XTs are good do-it-all reels. I like them. An Abu Garcia Vengeance spinning rod, an Okuma TCS. Sounds like a good order, Philip. I like that. I hate showing up late to a movie and live stream. I feel like I'm disrupting the presentation by finding my seat. I never feel bad on that because like there's always people that show up late. Don't feel bad on that. Okay, Guillermo, Debo, I know what you mean. I'm here in Missouri and I'm a fairly new angler, but most of the angler community in my area are very cliquey. Yeah, that's the reason I never got into tournament bass fishing. So I remember like my dad kind of got into it, or was going to get into it. And he's just like, man, it was so cliquey. Like, you know, it's the people that have been buddy for however long, you know, they fish the same spots. You know, he was just like it took the fun out of it for me, you know, and that's the same for me is like, I'd love to do a tournament. I have nothing against tournaments. I think it'd be fun to do some. I wouldn't want to do it for my job. Like those guys are grinding. You're on the road all the time. But I think it'd be fun to do some local ones. Maybe me and Randizzle can do that. Get both of us in my aluminum kayak. Even if we fail, it should still be pretty funny. Let's see. What else we got? Okay, so Gary Hensley said, what's your favorite go-to springtime bait here in Iowa? I live in Southwest Iowa, just curious. I've got a few of them, Gary. It really depends. Like the Lipless is probably one of my top just because you can search and cover water with it. And I remember last year, I need to go back and look at pictures, but I was thinking about that today. It was sometime in March, and I'm thinking I'm probably not going to be done with snow here until frickin' June. But we were actually burning Liplesses and the water was still really cold. So the nice thing about Lipless is you can cover water, you can burn it, you can yo-yo it. The nice thing is a lot of the places that you normally would fish that have vegetation. So I'll talk to a lot of people that go, well, I can't use treble hook lures. Well, a lot of the places where you can't normally use them in summer, a lot of those places are going to be open in spring. All that vegetation hasn't grown up. So that's something to keep in mind. Otherwise, I mean, you know, like soft paddle tail swim baits, soft plastic swim baits, a jerk bait, a suspending jerk bait is big. I'm a huge fan of the Ned rig. Randizzle got me turned on to the finesse jig. So there's a lot of options. Just remember, as that water's, you know, getting cold from going cold, warming up, you're going to have to slow that presentation down. So I know like I would get excited to go out and fish and would be fishing way too fast. And Randizzle would just be going super slow, working the jig and just be kicking my butt. So sometimes it's a good reminder of just, you know, slow it down until that water temp starts rising. Those fish are still going to be a little lethargic. What else do we got? Beautiful Shimano reel, Thomas Palmer. Thomas, I've got your giveaway stuff painted up. I just got done painting like 20 lures. I'm way behind on giveaways. I'm still trying to get all those boxed up. My goal is to have every giveaway that's out there done next week. I would have done a giveaway tonight, but I'm still trying to get lures finished, stuff packaged up. It's been madness lately. So I apologize. Any giveaway winners out there that are still waiting, feel free to hit me up on Instagram and let me know if you're still waiting, just to make sure I have you on the list. But I've been keeping a whiteboard of everyone. So Usama Khan dropped the donation. Thank you, sir. People are on the other stream. You should call them. I wish I could. I don't know how to do that. And those people are probably going to hate me and leave my stuff and go to a different, better fishing channel. Sorry, guys. I don't know what to do. I'm not technologically smart. Advancements. Let's see. What do we have? Are you going to make a vid on the FG knot? You know what? This is from Kenny Yee. Kenny, I am going to do a braid to leader video soon. I've actually had a lot of people asking that. It's not going to be on the FG knot, though. I've tried it more, and I feel like with the Alberto knot, the modified Alberto knot that I use, it's just as strong. I'm extremely confident with it, and I can tie it in like 30 seconds probably. So I've tried messing with the FG knot. I just don't feel like it's worth the hassle. I know some people are really good at it, you know, can do it really fast and such, but nah, that's just me. That's the knot I'm confident with. So we got the 10-horse Monty in the house. 10-horse. Hopefully we can hook up this year. What's up, Debo and TJ? What is up, good sir? What else? Kelly Walters also despises mosquitoes. I hate that. Yeah, Timothy Tweet saw MLF Heritage Cup round 2. I missed it today. I went ice fishing. I wouldn't really call it ice fishing. It was an ice debacle. But I did record it tomorrow. So if you guys missed it, it is on tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time. I do want to go back and watch that. Naughty Grain says, damn, I was on the other one. I'm sorry, man. Fat Boy Fishing said, what's up, homie? What's up, man? What else do we have? Let's get some more tackle questions in here. There might be some. I'm still catching up on everyone. Sorry. Let's see, what else do we have? Any advice on a frogging reel? I'm going to do a whole frogging deal, maybe even like a whole frogging live soon. My biggest advice for a frogging reel is get something that can handle the abuse, because like frogging, it's one of the toughest things you can do to a reel besides like heavy flipping and pitching or like throwing a big, huge swim bait. You're pulling fish out of gunky stuff, vegetation. It's just a ton of abuse on a reel, especially when you might have a decent reel, and as soon as you get a fish stuck in that stuff and you're really grinding them in where you got to grab your handle like this, and grind them in, your reel might not feel the same after that if you have, a less expensive reel that's all graphite. So my advice is to get a reel that has at least an aluminum frame. And if you can get it, if it's in your price range, with an aluminum handle side plate. It cuts down on all that torque, that twisting. That's exactly what's going to get your gears out of alignment and make them sound geary, where it starts to click, and then, where it starts to grind. And honestly, they just get to be not even usable. Now, again, keep in mind that's if you're in the real thick stuff. A lot of people say, well, I fish open water, I don't need a heavy setup for that. And that's right. That's absolutely right. If you're catching them in open water and you don't have a ton of vegetation and stuff, you can get away with, just an aluminum frame reel. But for me, I don't go on anything less than a reel that at least has an aluminum frame. That's for me, though. What else do we have? A lot of thanks. Oh, hey, everyone. Hey. Thank you so much for joining. New Corrado MGL rocks too. Al Kavanaugh. I do want to get that one. I do have the SLX MGL, and it's a sweet little reel. I need to do a review on that. I know people are waiting. And that's funny because I get a lot of feedback on, like, when I do a new review, to me, there's like two different levels of reviews. When I get a new reel, I like to do like a first impressions type review. And maybe I just need to relabel it, because anytime I put up like review, like for example, the Okuma Komodo that I just got, I put up a video that says review on it. People said, well, that's not a review. How can you do a review when you've never even used the reel? Well, in my opinion, there's two levels of reviews, because there's been reels that I've touched and used just a little bit and felt in the store, and I know I'm not going to use that reel. It doesn't feel comfortable. There's certain features and aspects about it that I don't like. So if I can help you all out there right away, just telling you the ins and outs of it, I tell people all the features, take them apart, the spool out, show you how the brakes work, and go over all that, because there's some people that say, oh, that has internal centrifugal brakes. That's a deal breaker for me. I don't want any reel where I have to open it to get into the brakes. So I like to do a couple of those and kind of give my thoughts on it up front. I feel like I've used enough reels. Y'all can probably see I've got a whole wall of reels back there. I've got my lights and stuff, but I've used a few different reels, so I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on how a reel is going to be. Now, obviously, I don't know everything about it, and there's things that you find out after you actually get out and use it, that you might not have necessarily thought of or whatever before. But I always want to do like 2 layers of reviews, because the problem is when you get a sweet new reel and everybody's interested in it, if I wait a full year to do that review, all the other new stuff's coming out, right? So it's kind of irrelevant. So that's my thought process in it. Comment and let me know. Do you guys think I'm wrong on that? Is there a better way to do it? I don't know. I know you can't please everyone, but that's kind of the way I like to do it. Do an initial and then a follow-up. So that's probably what I'm going to keep doing. What else? Keith McLean, SLX DC was supposed to be here today after waiting 5 months. Yeah, I know they were way backed up on those. I think Shimano got hit pretty hard, because a lot of the stuff is going out to the distributor. So like Bass Pro Shops, all those different, wholesale retail type places are getting the stuff. But I know like a lot of the actual distributor things are still backed up. A lot of the stuff's waiting in, what do they call it, customs or whatever that is. I know there was a whole big deal. So I don't know. Stuff's kind of all messed up, with the Ronas. What else? Which bourbon is your go-to? Tom Stauffer. Actually, I've been drinking some stuff here. We have a little distillery called Cedar Ridge. They're actually a winery, but they make their own bourbon, whiskey. And the one that I just got done drinking was a collaboration that they did with Slipknot, which was pretty cool. I got done drinking that one. This is just Tennessee honey, Jack Daniels. That's my other kind of regular everyday go-to. I don't get into like the real expensive whiskey. You'd have to talk to Rand Dizzle on that. He's like a huge whiskey connoisseur. I'm kind of a cheap date when it comes to whiskeys. Give me a nice old fashioned and take me out on a date. Let's see. Dan Thompson said Dick's has them in stock. What was I looking at? I thought I just read that. Was that the SLXDC? I read something else. I don't know. I don't know where that went. Let's see. What else? Lots of people saying they like the SLXDC. Yeah, I need to get a review out on that too. I've had a ton of people asking for that one. Is it the best reel for a beginner? That's probably what it's going to be labeled, because I get probably at least 2 or 3 people asking me every week. I'm new to fishing. I just started fishing this year. Should I get the SLXDC? I heard it doesn't backlash. So that's kind of something I'm going to have to address in that review when I talk about it. What else? This live stream was the only notification I heard. Doug Shelton said, yeah, I don't know. Stuff was all messed up. I'm an idiot, apparently, when it comes to running lives, but thank you all being patient and getting in here. It's only frosted. Has anyone seen or used the MLF Abu Garcia baitcaster combo? I've seen it. I haven't used it. I don't have any clue. What else do we have? What other type of gear questions do you all have? Lures, reels, rods. I want to answer some gear stuff tonight. John says that core is awesome. I still have mine. Yeah, this core is, he has the 101, so it must be a left-handed core, little core 100 size, super cool little reels. I don't know. This, oh no, these are the 50 size. Yeah, this core is a 50. The MG7, obviously for those lighter lures that won't focus. There we go, sort of focused. Technologically, I'm not the best. Yeah, super cool little reel. I was just casting it outside, and man, this thing still casts like a dream. It's crazy. Like even the free spin on it, that's what breaks on. Like it's a cool little reel. I'm very excited to be able to use that. Let's see. What else do we have? And it just skipped to the bottom. I hate it when it does that. Does Cedar Ridge do the bourbon barrel syrup? No, I don't know what that is. Oh, the maple syrup. No. Somebody was telling me they got that somewhere. I don't remember. That sounds delectable to me. I love French toast. So French toast with some bourbon barrel syrup. Count me in. Brent asked what bourbon I was drinking. I forgot. This wasn't the bourbon. This is actually just Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey. Austin Schneidwolf. That's how you say it. Sorry if I butchered it. What's your favorite $100 reel? I plan by this time, already through the winter, of doing on all the $100 reels I've used. I haven't got to that yet, but I want to continue to review all those, like the Revo X. I forget what I still have back there. I actually just picked up the Quantum Accurist. I've never used the Accurist, so I got one of the new ones to try. Finish up reviews on those, and then do kind of like a tournament, you know, like a 2v2 head-to-head deal, you know, like a March Madness bracket type thing, and get to my final couple. Honestly, there's so many good reels at $100. I don't know that I can pick just one. You know, the LFS Speed Spool, the SLX. I love the Fuego. I know it's funny because Jim and I have kind of differing views on that. He didn't really like the Fuego as much. I don't remember if he said it felt kind of cheap to him or what it was. I know he thinks like the Bass Pro, the PPS qualifier, is one of the best. And I'm like, man, I like the Fuego more. So, you know, a lot of it is just honestly on what you like, your preference, you know. So, but I still want to do that and just kind of give my thoughts on each one. I think that'll be fun. I love talking gear, so that's not a hard deal for me to do. What else do we got? I wish it would have not have stopped. Okay, here we go. Unboxing and initial thoughts versus review. Okay. And I think I have put that on some. Maybe I just need to make that clear when I do it, but I don't know. Like I said, you can't ever please everyone. That's kind of the deal with YouTube is, you know, everybody's going to kind of have their own take on stuff. So that's fine. I don't take any offense to it. Let's see. Matt Eckersley said, hey, how's fishing going? Could you try out the Weston rod range and let me know what you think? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Best crankbait rod, Marshall Reed asks. Man, that's a hard question because that's another thing that makes me laugh. Like, because on YouTube, you'll see these things that say like, I found the best $100 deal ever, you know, $100 reel ever. And it's like, this person's only used $300 reels. It's like, well, how can you say that's the best one ever? You know, unless you're saying out of the 3 that I've used, it's the best one ever. But that always kind of makes me giggle. So it's hard because I've not used every single crankbait rod, but from the ones that I have used, my favorite is actually an old Daiwa Tatula. It's an old cork grip. And again, it's just a preference thing of like, that thing just feels so good. That the action, the way you cast it, and it's an old rod. Like that's my favorite crankbait rod that I have, but I've got some of the new Tatula stuff, the Tatula XT. You know, that Lose crankbait rod is a great budget crank. I actually just got an Okuma crankbait rod that I'm excited to try. What else do I have? I don't think I have any Shimano crankbait rods. Oh, I've got an old Abu Garcia Veracity, those old maroon ones. They actually just came back out with them. But I have an old one of those that's pretty sweet too. So there's a lot of good options out there. I'd check around. Let's see. Maybe as opposed to calling it a review, just calling it an unboxing video. Yeah, maybe that's the right way to go. Initial review / unboxing. I'm sure that title would be fun. Sean Z, Daiwa Tatula, or excuse me, Daiwa CT or Tatula. So I'm guessing he's talking about the Tatula CT versus like one of the other higher priced Tatulas. I do have the new CT as well, and I've only shown that a little bit. I need to do a review on that one because it's the new version. I never got to use the old version. I know a lot of people said that is like the best, just if you go just over $100, like one of the best reels you can get. And I like the one that I have a lot, the new CT. I just don't like the handles. I hate those little handles that come on it, but I'll cover that. Austin said, what's your favorite $100 rod? Man, that's another hard question. I've got a lot. I've actually got a combo that I think might be one of the best buys at $100 for the rod and reel. That's going to be coming up soon. And I got it at Walmart, and it's not what you would think. It's not one of these clickbaity baloney type. I found the best $100 deal. Like this is a legit deal. And it's actually kind of a crankbait rod too. It's a medium power, so you can use it for that. But let's see, what else do we have? Questions on those. Question on the Lose skipping and pitching reel. Yeah, I've casted it out like in my yard. I haven't actually got to try skipping with it though. The reel's sweet. I like the reel. The question is, for $200, is it worth it for being, you know, a quote unquote skipping pitching reel, or is something like the SLX DC just as good, or the Corrado, you know, DC? I don't know. I want to get out and test that, but so far I like the reel a lot. And I think I've missed donations. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through, and I know people have been donating. I've got to go back and try to find. I think Usama is the only one that I actually read. I'm sorry if I've missed you guys. My chat keeps scrolling to the bottom, and I miss everything in between. Let's see. Thoughts on the Shimano Vanford? I haven't used it. Looks like a sweet reel, but I couldn't tell you one way or another. Dave, is it David Ehlers? Have you given any thought to trying a BFS, so a bait finesse system reel? I really haven't got into it much. I got the Cernoia, whatever that one is, like kind of as a budget one. If you guys go over and look up the Reel Test, he's a huge BFS nerd. He's got all kinds of BFS stuff and videos, casting them. If you want to see that stuff, go check out his channel. He's got a ton of good stuff on there for that. Has Randizzle mentioned how he likes the Abu Garcia Veritas? Yeah, he likes it. I know I've got one. You can probably see it back there over there in the middle of my fishing deal right there. He's got the frog rod. I've got the 7-1 heavy, and I actually just picked up, you probably can't see it there, but I did pick up one of the new ones to try out and compare it to the old one. So that'll be a video coming soon as well. Creek and Trail Chronicles, thanks for jumping in and watching, man. What is your opinion on high-speed reels? So 8.0 plus, what are they best suited for? Yeah, again, that's kind of a preference deal. So I do like some higher speed reels like that for some things, especially deals where I'm using like the rod to work the lure specifically. So a topwater, for example, a topwater plug. I used to use it for flipping and pitching like around brush and stuff, because once you get a bite around brush, you want to be able to set that hook and get that fish's head turned and moving towards you as fast as possible. But there's other things that come into play, like the length of the rod helps with that. If you've got a longer rod, a hook set with a short rod here isn't going to take up as much line as a hook set with a rod that's this long, you know? So you can get that fish turned if you have a longer rod to kind of compensate for that. What I don't like a real high-speed reel for is when you have to winch fish through vegetation and such, because they don't have as high of a torque. Now, I don't notice it as much on the 8.0 reels, but I've used some other crazy faster reels that I definitely noticed it on. So for me, I honestly don't think I'd go above an 8.0 reel. Like for me, a 7.0 or a 7.5 to 1 is kind of my favorite all around. I don't feel like you lose a ton of torque with that speed. You can still do a lot with it. I've used them for frogging. This year I used a 6.4 to 1 for frogging just to see my Revo X. It was still good. So, I mean, it really, like, you know, back in the day when my old man was teaching me, his fast quote unquote reels were like 5-speed reels, you know, then they come out with 6-speed reels. And, you know, guys won tournaments on those back in the day using reels of that speed. So it's really what you're comfortable with. But I think 8.0 is kind of like the highest I would go. I think I've got a Quantum that's 8.0. I want to say I've got a couple Lus that are 8.0. I don't know what else, but that's kind of where I've never used the Revo Rocket. I know they have a new one out that's like 10.5 to 1 or something crazy like that, I think. I don't know. I just don't feel like I have a need for that fast of a reel. Let's see. Swim bait rod questions, man. I would love to help you on that. I'm just getting my feet wet in the big swim bait stuff. I've got a few rods. I've got another one on the way. But I can't catch fish on a big glide bait to save my life. Maybe that'll change because I'm going to try making some of my own. I feel like that might give me the oomph to actually fish it all day. If I catch a big bass on a big swim bait that I've handmade, I don't know. We'll see. But I just also want to paint one too. I think it'd be fun. So instead of buying a $100 one from someone, I'm just going to try to make my own and mess around with it. Maybe make some more and then paint it. What else do we have? Kyle DeRepo said, what are your top 3 pre-spawn baits? That's tough because to me, there's different stages of like pre-spawn when I'm fishing, because you have that like true pre-spawn where a lot of the small males are coming up. You can get on those aggressive fish. Then you've kind of got the pre-spawn still that goes into like while they're spawning, because not all the fish come up and spawn at once. So I know a lot of guys, and what I mean by that, this probably makes no sense, but I know a lot of guys will see a couple fish spawning and they'll say, well, you know, they're in spawn mode and they're like already switching up their stuff. But they're going to come in waves, right? So you're still going to have fish coming into spawn while some fish are already spawning, while some are already moving back out. They spawn super early, you know? So for me, I still think I would have to say Lipless as I'm coming up into that pre-spawn until that more of the, you know, generic spawn, actual spawn period. I'm going to say Lipless. I would say jig now, finesse jig specifically, just because Randizzle has showed me so much with that. It's just so versatile. You can do so many things like with a little finesse jig. You can bed fish with it. You can fish rocky points. You can still flip it and pitch it around light brush and timber. You know, you can't get in the real thick stuff, you know, like a normal brush jig. I don't have any around here, but this happens to be a little Cumberland one that I have. You know, a little finesse jig like this, you can swim it, you know, especially one with a line tight like that. You can swim it. There's just so much you can do with a little jig like that. Jig would have to be one. And number 3, I would say spinnerbait, just because it's like one of my all-time favorites, and that's always a pre-spawn killer, you know, around mud lines or when you've got a lot of that snow melting and you've got fronts coming through and rain. Sorry, I just shook everyone. A spinnerbait is just so hard to beat. You know, slow rolling one in the cold water. It's got a lot of thump. You've got flash. It's got a lot working for it. Let's see. Ask this stream I get on having to do with gear. Has anyone reviewed the edge rods? I have not ever used any of the edge rods. I think I saw a deal on Instagram for them, I want to say. I've not used any of their stuff. Yogi Berra. Are we talking about the same Yogi Berra that played for the Yankees? If I could only throw one Lipless, which one would it be? That's a tough question. I know Randizzle, I believe he said it would be the actual rattle trap. That's hard because, like, I'm personally a huge fan of the Cotton Cordell, the old Super Spot, just because they're so cheap. You have to change the hooks on them because the stock hooks suck. But you have to do the same thing with a red-eye shad too. Like, I don't like those flimsy hooks. Oftentimes they're not sharp. I love striking baits. I just wish they'd put like decent hooks on their cranks. I can't tell you how many I've bent out and aren't sharp, but I'm just trying to think through. I don't know that I could say just one. There's so many good ones out there. The regular rattle trap, a red-eye shad, I got some of the new 6th Sense stuff I'm excited to throw. I've heard a lot of good stuff on those, and I haven't thrown any of their lipless cranks. Cordell Spot. The other one's the, what did they call it? The one from Berkeley. I've had really good luck on that too. Something hog. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I'm having a brain fart. I don't know. But anyway, the Berkeley one, it's another good one. Let's see. Have you thrown any HUDs? I've only got one HUD. I have thrown it. I haven't caught a fish on it. I need to put more time in with it. Let's see. Could you do a review? Let's see. Tennessee honey. No, I'm not going to do a bourbon review. If you had to choose between the FLS or the SLX, I don't know what the FLS is. I don't know. Pass. 6th Sense stuff is solid. Yes, I agree. Millstream Brewery. Have you ever been to Amana's? Yeah, I grew up actually only about 20 minutes from the Amana's, so I've been there a lot. They've got some, yeah, the Millstream stuff. They've got some cool brews. They did a limited deal not too long ago. It's probably been 2 or 3 years ago that was really good. I want to say, I don't remember what it was. It was like a hazelnut, but it had like a hazelnut brown. Some deal. I don't know. It was really good. What else? Am I playing fantasy fishing? I've done it a couple times. I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago. I've just been so busy the past few years. I forget like when the events are going on. I forget to pick my people. So, I mean, I'd love to. I think it's fun. I don't know enough of every single guy out there, but I think it's fun to do. Let's see. I just saw a donation pop up. Jason, thank you so much for the donation here. I appreciate you guys. I want to have another giveaway going soon. I was telling everybody earlier that I'm trying to catch up on giveaways. If you are a giveaway winner, actually there was somebody I needed to, I don't know if you're on tonight, but if you're a giveaway winner, make sure you hit me up. If I've not sent you your stuff, who was it? Somebody won and I couldn't find them. The problem is people will message me on Instagram and I'll write their name down and it's not their actual screen name. Like when they'll send me their stuff. And I need to actually write the screen name down too, because when you search by name, sometimes you can't find it. So yeah, that's fun. Let's see, who was it? Giveaway winners. I keep them saved on my phone. Andrew Heath, you were a giveaway winner and I can't find you on Instagram. I swear you hit me up. Maybe you didn't hit me up. Andrew Heath, if you're watching, hit me up on Instagram. You still have a giveaway. I need to get in touch with you. Let's see. What else? What do you think about the Shimano Intenza rod? Yes, I have a Shimano Intenza rod. The 7.3 heavy, I want to say. Super nice rod. I like it, especially for the price. I want to say it went up like by $10. Or maybe I just got it on sale. I don't remember, but I like the rod a lot. Chris Russ. Thoughts on the new St. Croix Victory Series? I only saw a couple of their promotion deal, like marketing, screen pictures of it. I couldn't really tell for the actual rod. Did I just say reel? I meant rod. Sorry. I haven't actually went in and looked at the rod to look at specifics or anything on it. I'd be up to try it. I might pick up one. I don't own, I think, but 2 St. Croix rods. Rand Dizzle's probably the guy to talk to. He likes St. Croix stuff a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if he's already picked it up. But Usama asked, have I used the 6th Sense Hogwalla? I have not. I don't know what that is. That sounds like something here in Iowa. Hogwalla. Kistler Series 1 just picked up. It feels good. I haven't fished it. Yeah, the Kistler rods. I picked up 2 when they had that huge sale. Although I'm bummed. Kistler, if you're listening, is there any way I can trade those in? I was just talking to somebody today who said they just released their 2021 rods, which I guess is why they had such a good sale. So I just got them. I haven't even got to take them out and actually fish them yet because I got them at the Christmas sale deal. And now they've already come out with a new one that's supposed to be improved and better. So that kind of stinks. But the rods feel super, super sensitive. I was just messing with them in the backyard. Super sensitive. They obviously look very well built. So yeah, I'm excited to throw those. What else do we have? Pac-Man 17. Do you think Daiwa's TWS, the T-Wing system is what that stands for, is worth it? I do. I feel like it does help. I would need to do some head-to-head casting stuff. I haven't done one of those. Maybe I need to do some more of those. The Real Test, again, is another guy that has done a bunch of those. I only did one when I was testing out some aftermarket bearings, the spool speed bearings. And it was kind of fun. I need to do more of those, but check out his channel. I know he's done a ton of that, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's given his thoughts on the T-wing stuff. But I feel like it does help. I mean, because I don't have a tattoo around here, but for those of you that don't know, so normally your reel has like the little round line guide, like right there that you can see that little round piece. With the T-wing system, it's got like a little slot, and then when you press the thumb bar down, it's got like an open piece that's like this. So your line's going through all this. So when you cast it, allows your line to move in there more freely without your line banging on that little line guide every time it's going back and forth, which adds resistance. It's rubbing against it, and ideally, you're supposed to be able to get more casting distance with that open deal. So I feel like it does. I feel like all the Tattulas I have, especially that Tattula 100, that thing casts awesome. I love that little reel. Let's see. Thoughts on the Lew's TP1 Black casting. Actually, Randizzle has that rod, and I used it. It's a sweet rod. My favorite rod out of their lineup is that $150 rod. I forget what that's called, the black one. I grabbed like 3 of those this year. Is it the speed stick? I don't remember what it is. But it's like the $150 black one. I think it's a step up from the TP1. Super nice rod, though. I like those a lot. Any thoughts on the new Tim Perry asked, any thoughts on the new Lew's baitcaster design specifically for pitching? Just for pitching, I think that, it's a cool concept. It's got a really small, shallow spool, similar to what you'd see on a BFS reel, just made for flipping and pitching. So you're not wasting a whole bunch of line, putting it on the reel. Now, some people might say, well, that's dumb. What if you need to make a long cast? I understand both looks at it, but if it is really that easy to skip with, I think is going to be the big thing. I think it could be totally worth it because, a lot of times when you're skipping, it's just kind of a short distance. And if it's as good as like a DC reel, I've heard from people that the DC reel is amazing to skip with, then I think it would be just kind of a cool, different reel to do that with, So let's see. What else do we have? Can you show your Accurist? Is it the S3? No, it's the Quantum Accurist PT. Is that the new one? Yeah, Accurist PT is what it is. It's the new one. So no, it's not the S3. I don't know. I think, are you thinking the Tour, Quantum Tour S3? I think I do have one of those. Actually don't like that reel. I need to do a review on it, but there's one thing has to do with a screw over here when you hold it that makes the reel pretty much unusable for me. Now, if you're somebody who casts and keeps it in the same hand, not an issue. But if you cast and switch, deal breaker. Let's see, what else? Debo, have you used the Corrado HG201? I just recently purchased one and paired it up with the DEBO'S. What is the one I have? I don't remember what the new one I have is. I've got the Corrado K. I haven't used the, what's the one they just came out with? Corrado, whatever the new Corrado is, I have not used it. What else do we have in here? Lew's Tournament MP Speed Spool. The regular LFS Speed Spool is one of the best $100 reels. Love it. David Hagrat, I'm going to kick your butt. David, why are you going to kick my butt? I don't know what I did. How many rods and reels does Debo have there? Too many. Fishing Fix, too many. I have a problem. Scott Dietz says, what's your favorite bed fishing soft plastic? Well, growing up, it was a lizard. Like everybody swore by lizards. And I think it was like a South thing, guys in the South, using lizards. I used to use them just because I loved lizards. Like the black and purple Berkeley lizard was my favorite. And I threw it just like a regular Texas rig. I mean, you could probably use a worm or whatever, but I know that was big, when I used to watch Hank and those guys. That's what I like to throw. A jig probably is one of the best. I know guys will throw like a really bright lure, and it's not, to get the fish into biting it, but it's because you can see it. You can see exactly where it's at on the bed, because when you're sight fishing, you need to see exactly where that bait's at, because you want to get it in that bed and, get that fish aggravated enough where it's going to pick it up and move it. I honestly don't do a ton of bed fishing. Like if I see a big bass, I might throw a couple pitches at it, but I'm not somebody who's going to spend an hour on a fish trying to get a bed fish, because I'll just try to go find some of those active fish that are just moving up. I don't know. I don't like doing that and just sitting there for an hour. But Sam Bloomer, hey, bought an LFS for my little brother. It came from Tackle Warehouse, but had no papers. Is that normal for a Lew's? No, they should all come with an exploded diagram inside there. It's not really a big deal. Like, it's just general maintenance stuff, but you can get it on their website. Like, they actually have that schematic, the deal on the website that they can download. So I would just do that. Case and McMullen said that $50 unboxing swap was a good idea. Pretty cool video too. Yeah, if you guys missed that, go check it out. That was actually Burley Fishing's idea. He hit me up and said, hey, we like to do unboxings and such. I do them, you do them. What if, this was Burley saying, if I buy a $50 box of stuff and send it to you, Debo, you buy a $50 stuff and send it to me, and we don't open it until we're actually making the video. And it was a ton of fun. He sent stuff that I liked. The frog over there, hold on, let me grab this frog. I've never seen this frog before. I don't know how I've missed it because I love frogs. It was funny because we put in a lot of the kind of the same stuff, and it's like we knew what the other person would want. But check out this thing. It's an Optimum something or other. I forget what it's called, but it's got like, I don't even know what kind of fur this is. It's some kind of fur because you can see the leather on back, and then they've like, I don't know, some kind of fur. It's extremely soft. I don't know if that's like rabbit fur or something, but it's got that for the legs. It's got like a spinny little Colorado blade here that spins. I don't know, super cool looking little frog. I can't wait to try it out. I think the hookup ratio is going to be incredibly suspect. Look at that. Why won't this focus? Getting the deal here, camera. Come on, dang it. But there's no room right there. No room for that. There we go. No room for those hooks. That's me pushing it all the way down. So I'm going to have to bend the hooks up on it. That's my only concern, is that the hookup ratio is going to be crappy on it. And hookup ratio with the frog already sometimes can be suspect. But when you've got a 1/4 of an inch clearance between the body, and like one big thing I always look for is when the hook actually can turn free from the body. So once you hook that fish, the body can ball up and get out of the way. Let me show you. So what I mean is, like on a regular pad crasher, you can see when that body, when you hook that fish, oftentimes the body's going to come up like this, and your hook can spin free. So you've got that fish hook, the body can spin out of the way, and you've got all that meat, all that hook in the actual meat of the fish. Whereas this one does not. It's got a weight deal here, and the hook actually goes through the weight into the body. So I don't know. It's a really weird design. It looks really cool, but I don't know if we're actually going to be able to land fish and catch on it, but I've never seen it before. Optimum something or other. Does it say on here? Optimum, just says Optimum Baits. I don't know. Never seen it. Looks super cool. So Burley, that was a good pick on that one. Yeah, we're going to try to do a few more of those. I'm sure Burley's going to do some with different people. I don't know. I've already had one person reached out to me, said they want to do one. So I'm looking forward to it. I like fun unboxing surprises like that. So what else? People talking about their favorite reels. Ooh, the Dobbins rods, the Fury series. Mr. Urilet, is that how you say it? Yeah, the Fury rods are awesome. Very good budget. They used to be right at $100, and I think they marked them up like $20. I think they're $119 now, if I want to say right. Let's see. Japan USA Tackle Addict. 2021 Shimano Scorpion DC JDM. I don't get into the JDM market stuff a lot. Like some of the old stuff, I did get a Shimano Scorpion, and it's a super nice reel. I like that reel a lot. The red one, I don't know how old that is, but it's the newest Shimano Scorpion. I don't have like the MGL, or I think I did see that the new DC was coming out, but I don't get into that stuff a bunch. I don't order directly from Japan. I know there's a couple sites. I would more if I had more money. Obviously, I spend way too much the way it is now. This year, it's not going to be as much. I've had a couple things happen that have cut into my fishing budget, so I don't think that's going to be as much, but I'll still try to get some new gear here and there. Ooh, here's a good one. YouTube's cuz. Have you tried any ARC honey badger rods? I have not used the Tharp honey badger rod. I have multiple ARC rods, and they're for a little, I don't know, probably a year span. I thought ARC might be something I would look at going like all in on, until I tried one of their rods, and I actually had like a debacle with, I've got, I think 2 or 3 of those rods. The, what is it? The gray ones. I can't even remember. Lancer Pro, the Lancer Pro. I think I got 2 of those, and it wasn't a horrible experience, but it was bad enough that I didn't want to buy their rods anymore. And I liked their rods prior to that. Like the Arc Sniper was probably my favorite rod that I had for a while. And it sucked because that 6.5 pounder or whatever I caught last year, I broke it trying to high stick it and pull it up a probably 5-foot embankment. So that stunk. It was a medium, mag medium heavy. So it was rated for lures up to like 1.25 ounces. Oh, it did everything. I love that rod. But yeah, I need to get that review done. It's going to take a little bit of work because I've got to put some other stuff into it on how I fixed the issue. But yeah, that kind of turned me off. But I liked the rods before that. They made some really good rods. Air compressor. Forgot to turn it off. You can tell I'm a pro at this, getting my live started on time and making sure that air compressor's off. And surprised I have 100 subscribers at all. Dobbins Fury crankbait rod. I haven't used any of the Dobbins cranking rods. I had a Dobbins Colt. I actually gave that to Rand Dizzle. He liked the combo so much, I just said, keep it, dude. But I like the Colt. I think for a budget rod, that's an overlooked rod. What else do I have for Dobbins? Oh, the Dobbins Fury swimbait rod was the other one. The 8-foot. You can't see it. It's back there behind me. But the 8-foot swimbait rod, I think, is a good one. Okay, Naughty Green said, here's a 5 spot for some new ice fishing pips. Thank you, brother. One of my Iowa boys here. For those of you that didn't hear, I was talking earlier about my crappy experience today fishing. I shut my hut on a ice fishing rod, so I broke a rod. I broke the microphone input that goes into my GoPro, so I had no audio for the day. I didn't notice that till the end. I broke the mic plug-in. And then I was bent over trying to fix my fishing live well. I've got one of the live wells where you just drill a hole in the ice and then you stick the live well down in it, which is awesome because you can throw your fish in there. It keeps them alive all day. You can just grab that, pull it out, put it in your bucket, take them home. But there was a bunch of ice like formed on the side of it, so the fish were like coming out. So I was bent over trying to get that fixed. I'm like, why the hell do I smell plastic? And I looked over and my pants were on fire. I was leaning up against my heater. And if you didn't know, your heater gets hot enough that it can melt clothes and burn you. And so I melted a big hole probably about this big in the side of my ice fishing bibs. So idiot. Let's see. What lure color should you use when the water is clear but muddy midway down? Clear but muddy midway down. Unclear. I'm kind of unclear on what sort of water clarity you have. If you're talking about a mud line, so to me, I would kind of view that as dirty water where you can see it, but as you get, to a certain depth, it looks muddy, but it's just the clarity you've got to that point. Either that, which I call dirty water. So it's not quite muddy, but it's not like stained. It's like dirty. I know that probably doesn't make sense, but I would say like 2.5 foot, maybe 3 feet of visibility is what I call dirty water. Stained, you can usually see a little bit farther than that. And then, of course, like muddy water, you can only see, a foot to a couple inches. But in like that stained water, man, you've got a bunch of options. Like you can still go pretty natural in stained-ish water where you can see down, maybe 3 feet. I think they say a good rule of thumb is fish can see about 5 times farther than you can. So if you drop your lure down about 3 feet and can see it, a fish can see that from approximately 15 feet away. So, like a little bit more solid natural colors, green pumpkin with some black in it. You can even throw black and blue or straight black in that watercolor. Tequila Sunrise is a good one there. My pops would tell you Tequila Sunrise for any watercolor. But if you have like mud lines, so the water is pretty clear, you can see through it, and then you have a distinct mud line. So like in the spring, that'll be a big thing coming up. You'll have distinct lines of mud where you can actually see it looks like a line of vegetation, but it's mud from that runoff and rain and wind will push all that muddy water over to one side. And you want to treat that just like you would vegetation, or it's a place where bass are going to ambush prey coming out. So they'll sit in that muddy stuff right on the edge of it. and ambush fish that are in that clear water. So kind of two different things there, but I hope that helps. What else do we have? Jack Colby. This is a great point. And I see both ends of this spectrum, and I feel like I'm kind of a hypocrite. But Jack Colby says, I love fishing gear, but sometimes I feel like people focus too much on what to buy and less on going out and having fun fishing. I've sort of found that gear really doesn't matter too much. I agree 100%. So like I said, I'm kind of a hypocrite when it comes to this because I preach it a lot, but obviously I have a bunch of gear. And I think there's two separate things. And when I say I preach that it matters, I only preach it to a certain point. And what I mean is you'll see people out there that are like, if you go fishing, you need to have a combo like this and this, and it's some expensive combo. There are people that will tell you that. That was one of the reasons I never bought like Shimano stuff for a long time, is because I knew some very pretentious local fishermen that were like, oh, if you don't have Shimano, it's a naughty word. It's crap, right? And that's BS. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a $100 rod or if you have a $500 rod, right? So Jack, I completely agree with you. Getting out and fishing, being on the water means 100% more than how much the gear you have costs. If I gave KVD, or hell with it, not even my stuff, KVD picks $1,000 combos, and that's all he fishes with is $1,000 combos. He gives me all his $1,000 combos, and I give him my budget stuff. Who do you think would win? KVD, hands down. KVD with $50 combos would still beat me. Why? Knowledge of the area, the ability to find fish. I will argue that until I'm blue in the face, that the ability to consistently find and locate fish is the big thing that determines a really good angler or a pro from a weekend angler. Because, you know, a lot of weekend anglers are just going out and kind of casting around, trying to find stuff. You know, if I were to ask you, where do you think they're at? You're like, I don't know exactly. A pro is going to say, well, this is the time of year. This is the water temperature. This is the way it's been the past 5 times I've been to a lake like this. This is where they're going to be. And they go and find fish. So though it might kind of be a headache for, you know, KVD with only $50 combos, since he's used to using pretty much the best stuff, he'd still whoop my butt. So, Jack, when you say that, yeah, don't listen to anybody that tells you have to buy expensive stuff. It's kind of like a collection thing for me. Like, I've got a bunch of stuff. I like to try different stuff, but I'm certainly not somebody that's going to flaunt it. And if you feel that way, or if anybody's watching is like, yeah, right, but you flaunt it, I would just unsubscribe and find a different channel now, because that's not my deal. I just love trying different gear, and it helps a lot of you out. And a lot of it is just money that I've got from the channel, right? I'm just putting what I get from the channel back into the gear. You don't make much. There's people generously donating tonight, which I appreciate a ton. That's probably going to go to the cost of repairing my ice fishing bibs. Where was I even going with that? You don't make much from YouTube, right? Like, people think YouTube stars make a ton of stuff. Unless you get way up, like the Guggen Squad, or, you know, some of these guys that have 1 million subscribers, you know, I'm not making that much every month from YouTube, from the ads, right? Now, once you start to get paid sponsors or, you know, promotion deals and all this, like, that's where a lot of the money comes in for people. And I haven't tapped into that market yet. You know, I'm just using the money that I make from YouTube and throwing a lot of that back into this stuff, right? I'm buying gear and stuff so I can do reviews to try to help people out. But by no means am I ever going to brag to anybody and tell you, oh, well, I've got a $500 reel. You don't have that. If anybody does, I just slap them and move on. Don't slap them. You'll get sued. Let's see. TJ Ellis. I bought an Abu Vendetta 7-foot medium moderate for $11 on clearance. Dang, that's a good deal. I had a Vendetta a while back. I sold it. I had it for probably 3 years. It was the gray one, like the gray one with the swirls. It was a good all-around rod. I liked it. My taste. Let's see. I'd pick up only one of each spinning bait caster. Oh, here's a good one. Matt Eckersley. If you had to pick only one of each, excuse me, what spinning and bait caster rod would you use? I don't know. That's like asking to pick your favorite potato chip. I don't think I could. If I only had to pick one, I'd really have to sit down and think about it. I could tell you the specs that I would use. As far as an actual brand, like one individual, that'd be really hard. Let's see what else. Zach B. Now I'm just getting to some more. Oh, and it just jumped to the bottom. I like it when it does that. Have I said that before, that I like it when it does that? I really do enjoy when it does that. It just jumps clear down there. I don't even think I can get back to him. Hella Bass. I'm way behind. Hella Bass is in the house. Hella, if you're still in here, what's up, brother? Thank you for hopping on. Have I checked out Wayne Top? Have you checked out any of the Piscifun reels? I've never used anything from Piscifun. Nope. What newish rods don't you recommend? I don't know that I have a rod that I hate. Some rods are better than others, but I don't know that I have a single rod that I would say that I hate or that sucks. What else? Debo, what do you think is the biggest difference between fishing gear, say 20 years ago and today? Oh, that's a great question. Technology has come a long way in 20 years. So when you look at like even older than this Corrado, what am I stuck on? What's happening? Is this real life? So when you look at this old Corrado, and I forget when these came out, was that late 2000s, I want to say, when the Mean Greens came out? I don't remember for sure, the E series. I kind of get my series mixed up. And that's kind of when I was out of fishing. I remember hearing some of that stuff, but I wasn't like huge into it. I didn't have like an appreciation for it until later. But what's going on here? What's going on with my phone? That was Randizzle. Randizzle, what are you doing on here? Randizzle was supposed to join me tonight. I thought you were sleeping. I commented about bragging. He says, I'll get to it here. Randizzle brags all the time. If you want to listen to a bragger, that guy's always bragging to me about the stuff he has. Oh, Debo, my Silverado's better than your F-150. Ooh. Because he has real large rims. He likes to rub it in my face. Let's see. So from 20 years ago today. So sorry I was sidetracked. The technology. So when you got something today that's like $100-ish reel, 20 some years ago, that probably would have been like a 200-ish, maybe even more reel, just in refinement. Now, like something like the Core, that was, an expensive reel in the day. Well, nowadays you can get something like this at a lower price, right? So I think refinement and technology have kind of caught up to that. Now, another video I want to do is at what price point, and it's kind of hard to explain, but when do you have diminishing returns in fishing equipment? So I mean, like $100 reel versus a $300 reel, what really are you paying for? It's something I've had some long conversations with people, because some of the stuff that you take apart, the internals look almost the same. So you're paying for things like a line counter deal on the spool tension knob, a little bit different handle knobs, Win handles. Win stuff is expensive to put on. So there's a lot of things like that where, do you really need it? Is it really going to buff their performance, or is it just bells and whistles? I think there are some reels that are obviously a lot better when you move up in price as far as refinement, but it's not always necessary to buy expensive stuff. I use a wide range from budget to the more expensive stuff, and some of the budget stuff I like way better than the expensive stuff. So the other thing too I hear from people is, oh, I finally got this rod or reel and it's a more expensive deal. And they're like, I'm afraid to use it, so I always leave it home. And I'm like, what? You're leaving it home? You buy this stuff to use, So that always kind of makes me chuckle, but I don't know. Let's see. Biscuit said, Debo, do you ever use Dobbins rods? We did go over that, loving the Fury and Sierra. I've never used anything more expensive than the Fury. I do know a couple guys that swear by the Dobbins stuff, so I might get a more expensive one someday to try, but I think the Fury rods are super solid at that price point. What are your thoughts on the Lose Tournament MP Speed Spool? It's a solid reel. I like it. I wouldn't say, unless you can find it on sale, I feel like I still like the regular LFS better. The Tournament MP, if I'm thinking, is that the one that has the black and red one that they came out with? Maybe I'm confusing that with the old Tournament MP, which was like the black and gold one. I forget. But I know some people like the dual brakes, like the new ones. That new black and red one has the centrifugal brakes and the magnetic brakes. I know some people like that a lot more for refinement. I don't know. I'm just kind of biased because that LFS that I had, I used for 5 years hard, 4 years hard. I used it for frog and I used it for everything, and I never had a single problem with that reel. And that's hard to say because, like, something will go wrong or a side plate will come off, or never an issue with that reel. And it's one of the old OGs in my arsenal. Keith McLean says, you've told me you don't like to fish pre-spawn or spawning bass. How do you fish in the spring from the bank? It's not that I don't like to fish pre-spawn or spawn. I like to fish both. I'm just not somebody that'll spend a bunch of time on a bed. Like I'll see guys spend an hour, like I'll be walking around fishing, catching multiple fish, and there'll be guys sitting on a bed for an hour in the same spot trying to get that fish to bite. And that's personally what I don't like. And I'm not against it. I know some people are like, well, if you fish spawning bass, you're killing the future. No, I mean, as long as you're taking care of the fish, they're going to go right back to that bed. I've literally caught a fish and watched it go right back. You know, Randizzle and I have. Even when you take them out, like they call it like their built-in GPS. I know that's another thing is like, well, if you take them off the bed, you know, they're going to die. It's going to disrupt the process. Unless they're guarding fry, I mean, as long as you take care of the fish and just release it right there, to me, that's the right thing to do. And just don't kill it. Obviously, if you kill it, then that would be bad. Don't do that. So take care of it. What else? I don't even know where I was going there. Good Lord. Shimano SLX, SLX XT, or DC. Gene, I've got all those. I'm going to do a review on all those. I'm going to do a head-to-head of all those. They're all solid reels. Anything in the SLX lineup is solid. I haven't had a problem with any of those reels. I think they're all good reels. Hey, Gizmo's in the house. Gizmo, thanks for joining. Have you ever tried adding glass rattles to jigs and other soft plastics? Yeah, I don't think my old jig box is over here. Back in the day, a lot of the jigs you used to buy would have like a little wire loop on the bottom, and they had little plastic rattles that, like, I don't even know what you would call it in the shape of. It looked like almost like a golf ball looking deal on the bottom, and they clip on. I had a ton of jigs that had that for dirty water, and it was just like a little round ball rattle. Now they have like the BB rattles. They look like a little tube, and some of the jigs will have like a spot for 2 of those on the bottom. They sit like next to your hook shank, and it's got BBs in there, and it clicks, and it's supposed to mimic like crawfish clicking and clacking through rock and stuff. I've used those, but I've never put, I don't know if you said glass rattles to jigs. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever put a glass rattle on my jigs. The only glass rattle stuff that I've used, I do have some, I think, but the Guggen Ned, whatever it's called, I don't remember what it's called, the Guggen Ned bait that has glass rattles in it. I think that's pretty sweet. I think they were probably the first ones to do that for a Ned rig. I'm sure companies have done it before. I don't want to say the first ones. Good Lord, I'm probably going to break the internet here, but they're the first ones that I'd seen do it in a Ned rig, and I use those with good success. I like those little Ned Guggen deals. Debo, those crabs you gave, Dave Washburn says, Debo, those crabs you gave Burley, though, in his surprise box, I picked some crabs in there. And he did say on his unboxing, Debo, you gave me crabs. I got a good laugh out of that. I saw those. I'm like, how the hell would you even rig those? I don't know. I got black and red because I figured he could fish them pre-spawn, and bass might think they're like a crawfish. I don't know. We'll see. I thought they were cool. I'm from the South, and it's almost spawn. Do you recommend throwing normal colored lures or crazy bright lures? So I know like the smallmouth guys will definitely go around spawn with like a bubblegum worm. Merthylate, which is like that bright, obnoxious, radioactive orange looking, I know does well if you can get bass targeted in on that. Like that bite's either on or it's not. Last year, it was one of the MLF events. I forget which one. I couldn't tell you. It was Texas. And Mark Daniels just hammered them on a merthylate worm. And it was funny because like back in the day, that was an old deal that's kind of died out. You don't really see people fishing it. A lot of guys will go to like a regular wacky worm. Nico rig, I think guys are kind of moving more towards that, but I know like a wacky rig's big during spawn. But the merthylate worm thing was kind of something that died out. So it was kind of cool to see old Mark Daniels just smash them on that, kind of a forgotten fun thing to throw. And it's just so bright. Like you'd never think that color would ever catch fish, but it does. And a lot of it's not necessarily like it's just out of anger. They're so angry during spawn. They don't want anything around their beds. And really that bright color is just so you can see it in a lot of cases. But some people say like there's something about that color specifically for largemouth bass that just like triggers them. So I don't know, play around with it. But usually it's a bright color so you can see it and get it close to their bed and get them angry enough. Heroic larvae. What is your single favorite bait if you had to choose? As far as category, nothing beats hollow body frogs. If I can only throw one thing for the rest of my life, it'd be frogging. Not necessarily this frog. I don't know about this guy yet. I'm not sold on him, but hollow body frogs. Next to that would be spinnerbaits. Spinnerbaits are probably my all-time biggest confidence bait. I didn't start fishing frogs until probably 6 years ago, I want to say, like consistently. I had some soft topwater frogs I used to throw back in the day, but like actual hollow body frogs has probably been like the past 6 years. I got on, it was in April, which is insane for here in Iowa. Dad and I went back in a cut at one of our local lakes, and it was actually just out of necessity because it was so windy that day. You just couldn't fish main lake points and stuff, and that's usually what you target that time. We pulled up in this deal. It was muddy as hell. We didn't think we were going to get anything. They already had vegetation growing up, was getting stuck in the trolling motor. So Dad just put the spot lock on kind of on the edge of this stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to pick up a frog. Like last year was the year before that, was the year I really had a ton of confidence locally on the frog. I'm like, I'm going to pick up a frog. He's like, you think they're going to be hitting topwater? I'm like, probably not. And we got on the most epic bite. Dad has never been a frog fisherman. And I even had him hooked up with the frog. And he's like, that was hella fun. And the water was probably only like 55 degrees. So that's just what I mean. Like usually I will say, and usually in my experience, like once you get up past 60 is when you can start throwing a frog, but we were still like 5 degrees below, but it was 55 back in that cut. And everywhere else we've been fishing was like just over 50. So usually like 52-ish, I know, as they'll say, you know, kind of when spawn's turning on, but dude, it was on. And it was like all 1.5 pound, 2.5 pound fish. Like there was no little dinks. I know to some people that's dinks, but it wasn't like, you know, 1/2 pound fish. Like it was all fun fish, just fun fish to catch numbers. And I think we ended up catching, I don't know, probably 20 some frogfish back there in that little cut in like 1.5 2 hours. So it was cool. It was a bunch of fun. Just shows that fish don't always follow the rules. Let's see. I am sorry if I've missed your donations tonight. I try to call everybody out. Honestly, I do appreciate that a lot, that everybody leaves donations. You don't need to. I try to do special stuff for people that do, but rabbit. Oh, good Lord, I'm way behind. Everybody's saying the optimum fur bit. It's rabbit. Wow. We're just now getting to that. Man, that's rabbit for everyone. That's what I figured. That felt like soft rabbit stuff. Poor Thumper. Killed him, made frog legs out of him. Let's see. What else do we have? What are we at for time? Good Lord, we're at 1 hour 17. I didn't even think we were at 45 minutes yet. Rand Dizzle said he left a message. I'm going to see if I can find it. Hook Shank Hewitt with the donation. Thank you very much, man. Somebody said he had the Macho Man frog. How cool is this? My old lady got me a Macho Man Randy Savage shirt for Valentine's Day. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's see. What else do we have? I'm a beginner and got me a St. Croix heavy action frog rod paired up. That sounds like a good setup to me. A heavy action rod. The thing with frogging too is you don't have to spend a bunch of money on a frogging rod. Like there's a number of different techniques where you just don't need an expensive rod. You don't need ultimate sensitivity. Frogging is one of them. A lot of topwater, you just don't need that sensitivity. You're visually seeing the bite. You can watch your line. Now things like finesse jigs, Ned rigs, Nico rigs, things where you're going to be moving it slower and you really need to feel that small finesse bite. That's where I'd say spend more money on stuff like that. But what else? Thoughts on the Guggen revolver? I don't even know what that is. Are they making pistols now? I think they've got about everything else though. Optimum fur bit, rabbit fur. Yes, everybody's letting me know it's rabbit fur. Dizzles, there he is. Dizzles Fishing. Dizzle's got his own channel up here, hopefully soon. Cheer up, Buttercup. Could be worse. Laid up with a tender back. Yeah, poor fella. Busted up his back. Everybody, here. Randizzle, I'd pour some out for you, but I'll just take a sip for you instead. Have some bourbon. I heard that's best for helping backs. Let's see. Matt Eckersley said, can we expect another Marling Baits Debo video anytime soon? I don't know. Hopefully, I'd be up for it. I haven't talked to him in a minute. I've been lucky enough to go over to the bait cave and make soft plastics with those guys. Nice gentlemen. I hope so. I honestly haven't really fished and traveled and done stuff with a lot of people just because of the whole pandemic stuff. My wife works at the hospital. One of my daughters is kind of high risk. So it's like I've been super careful with all of it. you know, it's no joke. My wife works at the hospital and sees it every day. So I know people have kind of differing opinions, but I don't really want to mess with all that. So I haven't been really hanging out with anybody or doing any of that kind of stuff. Just been making videos in my basement, talking to the camera and all you people. So thank you for keeping me sane. Fishing this year especially kept my mind sane and kept me sane. If I didn't have fishing, I think I would have been in a lot worse off place. Let's see. Sam Bloomer says, what does he mean by high sticking? Good question, Sam. So high sticking, whenever you're fighting in a fish, you want to try to keep your rod when you're fighting the fish parallel to the ground, so your rod tip doesn't go past 90 degrees. So when you're going to break fish off, especially like a little 1.5 pound fish that's flopping all over, is when you get that rod up and you allow that rod tip to go down past 90 degrees and really start bending over, that's when you're going to break a rod tip. So remember that when you're fighting a fish and trying to bring it in, try to keep your rod straight and try not to high stick it, pull it straight up and back to pull that fish in. That's when you're going to bust those rod tips. Noah D. Boss says, what's the compressor for? The compressor is for my airbrushing. If you didn't know, I paint crankbaits. And I just got everything approved. I'm going to be selling some soon. So I'm pretty excited for that. I never thought that would be a thing that I got into. I'm not an artist. It's taken a lot of trial and error. I was actually just looking at the very first crankbait I painted ever. And it's crazy to look at how far I've come. But it's just like anything. You've got to practice. You got to keep at it. So yeah, I'm excited for that. My own DEBO crankbaits I'll hopefully be selling. I was telling people earlier, the big swim bait thing has not been my deal. I suck with big swim bait glide baits. I don't have any sort of confidence in them, but I'm going to try making some of my own. I feel like that would be the ultimate thing, is to make a sweet glide bait, handmade, paint it up myself and catch a bass on it. Like start to finish, everything made by me would be pretty damn fun. So we'll see. I'm going to try to make that happen. What else do we have? Debo, do you think Hellabass is a computer? I've seen his videos and still not sure. What, John? I don't know what that means. Hellabass is a great guy. I was on his, oh, he's even talking right there. I was on his live stream / I don't know if he turned that into a podcast. Hella, was that a podcast? But super nice guy. No, he's not a robot. He might be an android, maybe mix of the two. Let's see. Fat Boy, dude, you almost got to keep the air compressor on. Haha, makes me laugh every time. Dude, I know. I don't know why the hell that thing goes off. Actually, I do know why it goes off. I've got a really nice Cal Air quiet one. Like I can even go talk to you next to it compared to the one out in my garage. That thing is so damn loud. You could hear it blocks away, I think. But super nice. It's loud enough, or it's quiet enough that I can use it in here when the girls are sleeping upstairs, my kids. They can't hear it down here at all when it's running. So it's like literally just behind that wall from me. That's why you guys can hear it. But what else do we have? I think every live stream my compressor goes off. Fishing Fix. Yeah, it probably does. Adds the character. What do you do? Blockhead Bassing. What's your favorite spinning reel of all time? Is this Symmetry. Like I said, I've had this thing forever. Old Shimano Symmetry. They don't make them anymore. I've never cleaned this, and that's really bad because I've made videos on how to clean bait casters, but spinning reels are a whole different animal. Actually, I might have cleaned this one once. I take that back. I think I did clean it once. I got a little sand in it, and I had to strip it and clean it all out. I take that back. I did clean it once, but that's owning it for 8 years ago when I started updating all my stuff. But, I mean, this guy's still, for being cleaned once, I mean, I've got new reels that won't do that. And that's obviously not always a test of it, but it's still, you know, you can hear it kind of clicks a little bit, but super good reel. As far as now that I've used, the Okuma Apixer is probably my favorite budget reel. Tackle Advisors, if you like reel reviews and if you like to get nerdy on tackle stuff, Tackle Advisors has the most in-depth type of like teardown. He literally takes it like all the way down and talks about all the parts. Super interesting. He's got a really cool channel. But it was one of his on the Okuma Apixer, and he posted it because it was on sale for like $32 on Amazon. That's probably my favorite budget spinning reel. I don't have a bunch of spinning reels, actually. I've kind of got a limited quality or a limited quantity of them. I would have to say the Daiwa Fuego. And that's like, I got that one on sale for like $70. I think regular, let's say $100 reel. Super solid reel though. I know like the Daiwa BG, the black and gold one's another big one, but yeah, I need to get some more spinning reels. I think I've only got like 5. That's it. So I can't really tell you a ton. What are we at for time? An hour 24. I think we'll give it an hour and a half. I can't believe I've still got 340 people on here listening to me talk about gear. I love you guys. I really do. It means a lot. Hellabass says, these stories explain why I don't ice fish. Normally it's pretty fun. When you burn a hole in your pants and about catch your leg on fire, it's not fun. So I just learned that my old man locked his keys in the truck and you left before him. They just got home and you think you had problems today. Oh my gosh. Pops ended up catching 16 bluegill. Doesn't he have the code thing on his truck? I'm going to have to call my old man. Wow, Pops. Well done, sir. Why didn't you call me when I was out? I guess he stayed out later than me. I was having a crappy day, so I left early because if you didn't hear, I burnt a big hole in my fishing bibs. I cuddled up too close to the heater. Long story short, I ruined them, but yeah, idiot. I'm an idiot. What else? Ben's custom bait box. Oh, Ben's custom bait box. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Pops wasn't too bad. I think it's funny. I think he still got the thing so he could unlock it from his truck. He probably forgot his combination. Peter dropped a donation. Thanks for the new bibs. I think I've got multiple people dropping donation for the bibs. I'll have to see how much I end up with. Maybe I'll buy a new pair. I was just going to try to put a patch on them, some sort of patch. I don't want to get rid of them. They just got a hole burnt in them. Otherwise, they're still good, you know. Straight Cash said, how are you celebrating 100K, Debo? Dude, that's a great question. I don't know. If you all have an idea after this video drops, because I'll put it in the live, whatever, comment in there because I can't see the rest of the conversation. All this goes away, but you can comment on the actual video. Comment and let me know what you think I should do. I was thinking some sort of giveaway. I was thinking about shaving all the hair off too. Do a live, cut all the hair. I mean, it's long now. It's really long. It's to the point I think I need to get rid of it though. I was thinking about just shaving it and raffling off my hair. I know there's been a lot of people that wanted to buy my hair. Kidding, that's a joke. But I was going to shave my head. Yeah, I don't know. Some sort of giveaway. I really don't know. To me, it's just a number. Like, it's not a celebration. It's like, it's unbelievable to me. So, and again, I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to brag about it. I just have another fishing channel like everybody else. So I don't know. I'm going to try to do something though for a giveaway for all of you guys. That's truly what matters to me, is that it's because of all of you. You all got me here. I wouldn't have 100K by myself. So, let's see. What else do we have? Heartland Outdoors with the donation. Hey, bud, would you mind if I sent you a kit of crappie baits? A buddy of mine makes these baits and would like to send them to you. Absolutely, man. I have a P.O. box. I linked that in all my videos. I would love to check them out. I need to do more crappie fishing. I used to do a lot more crappie fishing when I was younger. And now I'm pretty much just a bass guy, but there's a few spots I do go out and crappie fish for, so I would be more than happy to try some out. Jesse dropped a donation for the bibs too. Jesse, thank you very much. People, you are too nice dropping me money for the bibs, giving me money for my stupidity. Thank you. I appreciate it a bunch. I'm the dummy that burnt a hole in my bibs. Let's see. 100K, Debo gives out rod and reel combos to everyone. I wish I could, but it's stupid expensive to ship rods. It's ridiculous. I was going to sell some of my old rods and ship them. And I went to UPS and they wanted like $200 to ship like 3 rods. And they said it was because of the size of the tube. It was stupid. I can't believe that. So I'm going to sell some stuff here locally. I've got some old stuff that I don't use anymore. I'm just not going to ship them. So. Oh, Dizzle's Fishin'. Wish I was able to join. Well, Dizzle, I wish you were too. And it actually didn't even work. We're going to have to test it out because I tried getting on through OBS that I normally use. I had Tackle Junkie on. Since Dizzle was not feeling good, we were supposed to go live. He said, no, I'm going to opt out tonight. I'm not feeling well. I said, I get it. I was going to have Tackle Junkie on, and I had that other one pre-scheduled, and I tried like 3 times, and I couldn't get it to work. So I had to start this new one, and luckily you guys flooded this one. I thank you very much. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know if I need to restart my computer or what, but that's never happened. Every single live I've went through OBS, so I don't know. Let's see. Jeff for the bib fund and new ice rod. Jeff, thank you very much, brother. I just got another donation coming in. Tyler Bailey with the donation. I would like to invite you down here to the Kansas City area for some crappie fishing. Also, here's money for bibs. You guys don't need to keep giving me money for bibs. I appreciate it a bunch, but it was my fault, completely my fault. I posted a thing. I said, Striker, is there any coverage for burning a hole in your bibs? They didn't respond to me. We'll see if they do. Maybe they'll say, no, you're an idiot. There's no sort of coverage for that. I was kind of hoping they'd send something over funny that I could share, but I didn't expect them to cover that. I legit burnt a hole in my bibs with the heater. So, Tyler, if I could travel more and fish, I would. Kansas City, I think, is like 5 hours from where I'm at. I would like to do that more. If it was a regular year, non-COVID, I was going to do like a meetup thing and do like a on the water type thing with people and try to help out some people and do tips and pointers and just talk fishing. But I don't really want to do that, obviously, and get a bunch of people together now. So I might have to do like a special live. Like I said, I've got more giveaways planned, some fun stuff. So kind of stuff like that. Let's see. We're at 1:30. Oh, my goodness. What else do we have here? I'm going to try to run through quick. Any other good? Let's see. I would start a group for DEBO'S Fishing Friends, but it's not my IP, so I feel it's wrong. DEBO'S should be the one. I don't know what that means. Best ways to fish right after ice out, pre-spawn, slow. If you think you're going too slow, slow down. Right after ice out, they're going to be really lethargic. Slow is the name of the game. What else? I want to try to make sure I hit everybody that donated because I really do appreciate that. What else do we have? Let's see. Oh, just got another one. Chid Runner. It's Victor. Oh, help me with my Lose reels. Thank you so much. Got the KVD, the BB1 Lose LFS. No problem, man. I'm glad you like them. That's something I love doing. Like it blows my mind that people, reach out to me and, ask my opinions on gears. I don't have everything. I'm not, a pro, but I will certainly help you with anything that I have and anything that I know. There's no secrets for me. I'm not going to make money keeping secrets from people. So anytime I can help, I will. Certainly feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. That's the best place. Slide into my DMs there and I will try to help you. Sometimes I'm like a week behind on comments. I'm to the point now where I'm having trouble keeping up with everyone, but I promise I will get to you. It just might take a little bit. Let's see. I thought I had a couple more donations. I wanted to make sure I hit them and said thank you. Maybe not. I might have skipped over you. Well, if you're somebody I didn't read your name out, Noah with I can't even think of what it's called now. The donation. Thank you very much, brother. Kason with the donation. Thank you very much, sir. And that's all the farther I can scroll up. So that's going to do it for me tonight. I wish I could stay on longer. It's already been 1:30. I know I've taken up more of your time than I should have tonight, but thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to be doing more of these. Hopefully I can get the OBS fixed and we can have guests on. Like I said, if you have questions, reach out. And after this video or after this live drops, make sure you actually go in to leave a comment and let me know, is there anything fun you think I should do for hitting 100,000 subs? It is a big milestone for me. I never would have dreamed in a million years I could have hit that. So it's all because of all of you. So again, that's for me tonight. All I'm going to talk about. I'm going to finish my bourbon and go to bed. So thank you all so very much for watching and until next time.